This is like my sixth take on an intro, and I have no idea how I want to start this video. Anyways, I played 100 days in Craft to Exile 2 Modpack, an RPG-esque style where I got to play as a chanter slash summoner slash spellcaster. I did wizardry things where I follow a quest book. I gotta defeat big bad bosses. Yeah, you'll see me fight a crazy looking tree and a three-headed ender dragon. Anyways, grab your favorite snacks, grab your favorite drinks, grab your favorite people. This one is a video for the road. Hope you enjoy. Goodbye. All right, and we're doing the thing. We are doing the Minecraft Craft to Exile thing. We are starting on day 1, just 99 days away from day 100. So they say. Anyways, I spawned in a huge village, okay? And after spawning in the huge village, I needed to kind of pick my person. So I chose a necromancer as well as like a spellcaster. I'm not even looking at the footage right now, so I have no idea what the technical names are actually, so just deal with it, okay? I'm sorry. I wanted to be the necromancer because there were spells to actually summon zombies and skeletons, which was actually really cool. As well, I think it's a I'm stuck on this thing, and it's not even in the thing that I'm reading off of. What am I? I spawned in a village next to an Illager jonk that had a ton of Illagers. And then I proceeded to kill said Illager so that way I could advance inside of the quest book, which is a really nice quest book. And then after that, I completed a quest for killing 5 zombies and 5 skeletons. So that way I can receive a zombie gateway and I believe a skeleton gateway. There's a bunch of gateways that you can like spawn waves of mobs, which really come in handy in the later days, okay? We're knocking down quests. Now, day 2. Was really just trying to take care of the pillager camp. I wanted to kind of unalive everything inside of the pillager camp, but I just could not finish it at all. They kept spawning. It was just non-stop spawning. So I just ended up leaving because I was getting annoyed because it was taking way too much time. And trust me, over these next like 80-90 days, you will see that I wasted a lot of time doing unnecessary things, but I'm not gonna spoil it here. Day 3, I was leaving the pillager outpost, but as I was leaving, next door is another freaking pillager post. It was a double pillager at this village was just not it. Like, it wasn't it. So me being me, I'm like, oh, maybe this post is different. Maybe it's just a double raid post. And if you clear one, it'll clear. No, this one doesn't clear either. So I just end up leaving both of the posts, leaving those alone. And then after that, I wanted to finish a quest, which was activating that zombie gateway that we got for killing 5 zombies. And I actually ended up clearing that too, which was actually really cool. It's kind of cool how the little portal starts spewing out zombies and stuff like that. And so it was really nice to get XP as well as some money for unaliving the actual zombies. But after I did that, I ended up getting a witch gateway, which I'm probably gonna tackle that on day 4. All right, just as a heads up, I might do that on day 4. That's what it says on my little sheet that I'm reading off of right now. Okay, so the next day, day 4, believe it or not, I did the witch gateway. I know, it's like I called it. I conquered all of that too. I almost died, but I didn't because your boy is that good. I'm really not. There's a reason why I did this in not hardcore because you have to watch it until the end. Okay, I conquered the witch gateway. Also, my next quest was I had to defeat a mutant skeleton. And I found the mutant skeleton and the dude was massive. But it was a quest and I had to beat it, so I did it. And finally beating it, the next quest was to go out and find some mushrooms because I needed to find mushrooms. Oh, hold on, what does this say? Finally beating it, I went and got some mushrooms to do the next quest, which involves a mutant pig. All right, it's good. I didn't even put anything else that says mutant pigs or what the pigs did either. All right, let's just go to the next day. Day 5, I figured out what the mutant pigs were, and holy cow, this is 1 out of 2 times that my arachnophobia gets triggered in this 100 days. So I think it's around day 60, 70 or something like that that you'll see it trigger again. But regardless, mutant pigs, spiders, ew, icky. That's just gross. And I messed around and got myself acquainted with all the recipes in the JEI. I guess today was, what I'm referring to is that today was just a day of time wasted. But there is so much stuff to learn about this mod pack with how things function, like the jewels and the things, and like there's just so much stuff in here. But I came to the conclusion that I needed to make an explorer's compass to find some of the lands that I need to go to. And let me tell you, this is probably the smartest decision I've ever done in Minecraft in general, just because this explorer compass, as cheap as it is, was so helpful finding a lot of the structures that I needed to go to. But I know that some people are gonna be like, oh, you have the journey map, oh, it's cheating, oh my god. No, it doesn't hurt to know where you're going, and some of these places were like thousands and thousands of blocks away. I would have never found them and never advanced in the quest book. So day number 6, I went exploring a bit. I came across a grizzly bear and some other mobs, but I found this huge ravine that actually had some dope mobs in it, like a glow skeleton. It was actually kind of scary because I almost fell in it and I almost died for the first time, but I didn't. I found that this ravine actually really was cool because it did have like a kind of a lush cave kind of look into the ravine, but I found some pretty cool mobs like the glow skeleton, and then I went exploring more of that. I came across like a little ruined house with some loot in it, and it had some little chests in it, and I needed to get some loot. After that, I kind of went back up, which basically took the rest of the day, but heading in the direction that I was already going in, I ended up along the outskirts of what I thought was a village, and then I just ended up calling it a day. Day 7. Waking up though. It was one heck of an alarm clock, I'll give it that. A huge mutant skeleton and what looked like a lizard dude snuck up on me. But you know me, I had to take care of them, and then that village I thought I found was actually a lost colony, or it was actually a mod called like the MineColonies or something like that. I don't really know much about it, but I think I might learn it because it's here. I don't know if it's gonna help me. I don't really know, but when I explored this little place a bit, I actually found a restaurant that was pretty cool, which had some sick music playing. So I thought that was actually a really nice touch, but it actually turns out it was another mod in this mod pack that allowed mobs with musical backpacks to start walking around, and it was playing the music. I actually almost died trying to fight it. I guess his tunes went so hard that he didn't want to let it go. And then I ended up just setting camp at the actual lost colony to kind of close out the day. Now, the next day, waking up, I found some more stone. I got some coal and actually made my explorer compass and the nature compass towards the end of the day, but I also figured out what the lost colonies and the MineColonies is, and it seems like much, but I might actually get into it. Other than that, I kind of ticked off a B, and yeah, I'm. Other than that, this day was kind of really it. I mean, I was just looking around the village, the MineColonies village, just because I was like, oh man, maybe I should actually do this or not, but I wasn't 100% sure. So again, this is the second day wasted. I think we're gonna keep tallies on this, okay? 2 days wasted of just doing nothing other than taking off a B, making my 2 compasses, and that's it. Remember how I wanted to do the MineColonies thing? Well, I got sidetracked with it. I did meet up with my boy Stefan Cotton, and I turned him into Chef Boyardee, which was pretty dope. But this MineColonies thing, after diving a little bit deeper and deeper into it, is a lot more complicated than I really intended. I'm not trying to be a settler. I want to be a sorcerer who completes this quest book. So day 9, this is day number 3 of stuff being wasted, a day wasted. Okay, so just know there are adventures in this 100 days. I promise you. But gosh, let's just move on. So continuing on about my business, I went out to go find this Illager fortress that was in the quest book, and I ended up getting distracted by a floating village. It doesn't really get better, I tell you. So now I gotta go to the floating village. I gotta go to the floating village because me being me, ADHD kicks in full effect. I start building up to the floating village, and it turns out I didn't have enough blocks, so I eventually had to come back down to the floor, or the ground, sorry, the ground, and I might need 3 stacks. Yes, if you're already asking, yes, this already took me all day to do, so I guess the next day, day number 4 of days being wasted. I have so much stuff to do. I have so much stuff that I need to do. Day 11, I found a village, and I looted that on my way around to the floating village while I was gathering blocks. I gathered all the blocks that I needed to get up to the floating village, and I ended up finding a small hut in the woods that for some reason, dude, reading this, I really realize how like distracted I get. I'm supposed to get blocks for this floating village. Well, while I was getting the floating blocks, I found another village, looted that on my way to the floating village. After getting all the blocks that I needed, I found this small hut that for some reason spewed purple fire at me for whatever reason. At day 11, this whole day just needed to get blocks and go up to the floating village. I didn't even do that. I just gathered blocks and didn't even go up to the village. Just holy cow. Hey, guess what? It's day 12 and I made it up to the floating village. Believe it or not, I actually finally made it up. What was that, 2 days later? I can't believe getting up here took me 2.5 days. And I even wrote it in my script of it is what it is. No, it's not what it isn't. It isn't what it is. That's ridiculous, and I'm sorry. But either ways, I went up, and then I just started looting it. I mean, a lot. I mean, it was just a lot of stuff to actually start looting this thing. These things, if you ever play this mod pack, if you all ever play this mod pack, please give it a try. And go find one of these the floating villages are so cool. Like, they are so cool. I mean, that floating village mod is just whatever. Day 13, this is my lucky day. This is really I love 13 is my lucky day. That is my lucky number. But today was a day that wasn't very lucky for me. If this day doesn't summarize why I rarely do hardcore packs, this is why. So I ended up finishing the villager looting thing. I ended up looting all of it, and I finished all of that. And it was time to go back down. So I lay some water down, and well, the water that I had prepared to send, just watch. This is what happened. So yeah, the water that I had prepared to send me down didn't really finish reaching down, and yeah. Yeah, that's but after I got my bearings, I just went on my way over to the Illager fort that I was originally supposed to go to. Mind you, this Illager fort we were supposed to go to like 4 days ago. But here we are, day 13. Yeah. Finally, we begin our trip over to the Illager fort, and it was quite a ways away, but I will say it was honestly an amazing trip. I just traveling across all of these mountains and meadows, and I just had to take in a lot. The scenery and the overworld dimension building was absolutely beautiful for this mod pack, but especially for traveling. But I finally found the Illager fort, and then I went to work chipping away at all the mobs. Once that was finally done, the next task was given, and that was to find some type of an illusioner tower. So I guess, yeah, we are finally making progress and actually moving forward in the quest book as intended. Next up, illusioner tower. The next place was indeed the illusioner tower. And on my way, I found a musical pig. Yeah, a musical pig, but that's what I thought. But killing the pig didn't actually stop the music, so I guess no musical pig? I don't really know where the music was actually coming from. I think it was from a mob in a cave or something, but I wasn't gonna get distracted again, so whatever. Continuing on my way to the Illusioner Tower, as I'm supposed to, I found a castle village, which was actually pretty sick looking, and then I just began looting that, which had a ton of stuff inside of it. I mean, it was also like, there's just a little bunch of tiny little places that you actually had to get into. I finished looting the castle village, and then I was still traveling to the tower, which I found an Illusioner hut along the way. I was thinking that maybe that was it, and then I found another Illager fort. So in between taking care of the two, because again, not only am I supposed to complete this quest book, but I really am supposed to travel and explore all of these things. I know that I'm on a 100 days timeline, but still, if I didn't explore these things, would I really call myself the proper adventurer? So yes, when it came to the Illager fort, I got distracted and started chipping away at those guys again. The Illusioner hut, same exact thing. I just had to fight the Illusioner and then loot it up. I guess continuing on to the next day, I figured out that I had already completed the Illusioner Tower thing. I guess? I don't know if it was from the hut from the day before. I wasn't paying it, or if it was that little thing inside of the purple fire thing. Maybe that was it, because that's, you know, purple fire and illusion, but it still hit me, so it really wasn't I don't know. Either ways, looking back at my quest book, I completed it. So I just decided to make my way over to this big mansion. I guess I was supposed to find a Woodland Mansion for the next quest to defeat a big boss called the Invoker. I guess that's his Invoker. There's Evoker, and then okay, yep. I'm I'm big enough. Invoker. I'm already level 15, so whatever, right? I know that some of these quests are mob like level capped. I found my way on the right path to this Woodland Mansion, and along the way I found a nice cherry blossom biome village, which is actually really cool, and also another big village near it. And you know me, I just had to loot both of them. Okay, so over the next few days, I'm gonna kind of speed run through some of these, just because this thing was 6,400 some odd blocks away, so it was a ton of traveling. But day 18, again, I think we got the concept that it's all about traveling, but it really was a beautiful adventure going across all of these biomes to reach this place. I mean, just so many pretty places of just different biomes. And continuing into day 19, I keep on traveling. I ran across another village, began looting that, and now mind you, there are a ton of villages across my way. I'm probably not going to say that I looted every single one and then stop blah 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 blah, but I will say, as these days kind of scooch on across the timeline right through here, best believe most of those days were meant to loot villages, okay? So there's really no way to avoid coming across them, you know? But now, day 19, I came across another village and I began looting that. So I just went ahead and looted that, called it a day. Day 20, traveling along a mountain, I came across a village on a mountain and ended up looting that village on the mountain. That's literally what it says on my paper right here. Traveling along a beautiful mountain, I did come across a mountain village and just had to loot it, which basically took me all day. Day 21, from the village, I continued traveling. Hey, believe it or not, I actually did continue traveling. That's crazy, I know. It's like this next few days, like I kind of pre-said that I was going to be traveling the next few days. I actually ended up finding 2 Illager outposts, defeated all the Illagers, and ended up looting those guys, all right? The next day, day 22, on my way, I finished the Illager outpost and I actually found this really cool encampment village. Like all of these little villagers were in these little tents. I found some really cool stuff. This place actually had some really dope stuff, like a helmet and a new chest plate for me. I also learned a little bit more with like the jewels and the runes. I didn't really realize how powerful these things are once you actually start to attune them to your gear, get the runes, like actually equip them onto your equipment. And it really did help me get a little bit smarter and better about the game. So that was really cool. I actually did something productive on day 22 instead of just pressing W key and then space bar a couple of times. And yeah, I actually learned a little bit, believe it or not. Now, continuing my travels on day 23, I actually found a village with a cave that looked like it was great for training. But I'm gonna loot the village first and then go into my training arc. Maybe. I needed to get stronger because I started thinking when I was traveling, it gave me a lot of thought of, hey, maybe I should get a little bit stronger along the way. Now, mind you, Illager outposts were really cool, but it was really just the fact that that wasn't just gonna cut it. A couple of Illagers wasn't just gonna make me stronger, okay? So this cave was actually a perfect timing. Now on day 24, I looted the village a little bit, and then I did a little bit of training in the fields and the caves. Doing so, I actually learned a new spell to summon skeletons. So now, I have the summon zombies, and now I can summon skeletons, which will actually fire arrows at a bunch of things. While I was doing my training, I noticed this like super awesome looking house castle thing. I think it's called a pagoda, on top of a hill that was a little bit of ways away. So I think the next day that I'm going to actually tackle that guy. I did tackle the pagoda place. I went there, but it turns out it was like a hot springs pagoda place, like a bathhouse. And honestly, I found some scary looking ghost husk things. I was not expecting anything to be in here. I should have known better. Like a cool building like that in the middle of nowhere, dungeon, okay? Or not really dungeon, but like, I don't know, what would you call that? Like a mini dungeon, pre-dungeon? I mean, it didn't really have much in it, but either ways, scary ghost husk things killed me. And it took me almost all day to head back to the Savannah village where I did my training arc because I forgot to reset my spawn. And I have a bad tendency not to set up my spawn wherever I'm exploring. And obviously I'm paying for it here because you make a sleeping bag. You don't need a bed, you have a sleeping bag. But I gotta get better about that. But regardless, Pagoda, I died. Took the rest of the day to go back to the village, then reset my spawn, and then then called it a day. The next day, day 26, again, we're still just traveling. I got back to the pagoda. I ended up looting the rest of the pagoda and ended up just traveling to the mansion some more. So I thought this place was like only 6,000 blocks away. Then my compass updated it, and it was like more than that. I guess there was a cap as to where the compass was. I don't know. It told me 6,000. I felt like I've already walked 5,000 and I was still nowhere close to it. So regardless, we should be getting close soon. Hopefully, please, I just want to get there. The next day, I'm still traveling out to the Woodland Mansion, but I found this beautiful cave when I had to get on a boat. Because some of it's over mountains, some of it's through valleys and plains biomes, and then I had to get on a boat a couple of times. But this thing was beautiful. It was a beautiful cave that looked like a straight like devilish dungeon. I mean, it was literally like a dungeon from hell. But it was also connected to like a lush cavern, which was very, very pretty. I wasn't gonna go down in there because that wasn't my goal, but I just thought I should mention that. It was very pretty. I've been finding a lot of cool stuff on traveling around all this place, but it turns out I was actually almost to the mansion. So I hope to arrive sometime maybe next day-ish, maybe. I hope so. And look at that. Now, when I like did the transition and then it said day 28, best believe I arrived at the mansion. All right, we're here. We're finally here. And you know what? I just start going to town on all the mobs inside, carefully, but it was big. It was very big, and I had to take my time. I definitely didn't want to die at all in here, but your boy did some work. Finally, after a full day of fighting mobs and looting chests and all of that, I cleared out a ton of the mobs by today. After that was the big boss battle. He was tricky. He was a little tricky, and I thought it was supposed to be like super, super tough, but honestly, the skeletons and the zombies made super light work of really a lot of things in here, and even the Invoker. But finally, I defeated the Invoker. I completed that quest, and yeah, that was really it for that battle. I guess on to the next main quest, which after getting a bunch of loot inside of the mansion, then I finally leave. Headed back home. I ended up at a tower. I had to complete another quest to defeat some like Illager sorcerers or something like that. I found that tower. I think that was the Illager tower that we were trying to find before, that said that I don't know. It was on my travels, I ended up at a tower that had some sorcerers, which I needed to complete a quest. That's literally just what I wrote. I'm not even editing right now, and I'm just reading off of this thing, and it says, and I'm just slowly making my way back home. So your boy found a sorcerer's tower, defeated them, and I guess I completed a quest too. This is so horrible, guys. I'm so sorry. Day 31. Today, I just ended up waking up next to a little villager camp. I guess that's what you can call it. It was the same, like, it looked like the same little encampment that I previously went to, so I'm gonna just call it a little villager camp. And I spent a lot of the day just looting that, and then ended up going up to a mountain to head back home. That's really all it was just opening chests, walking, W key, space bar, mountain, and then that's all it is. So Shen, you're looting all of these villages. How are you keeping up with your inventory? Well, day 32 was that day to actually kind of sort all of it. There is a ton of stuff that you collect through these days. So day 32, I found a little tower. I first looted it like you should. Then I spent most of the day figuring out what these little backpacks were. I found out that there is like a master backpack, and I had to figure out what that does and how to fill it with stuff, which it turns out it actually does it automatically for you based on the stuff that you have. So you have like little gems or runes and stuff like that. It sorts it. Then you have your regular inventory, which it also sorts. So that was actually really cool. But I also had to make another backpack because there was some ordinary stuff that it didn't really take hold of, which was a little bit annoying. But regardless, the fact that it automatically sorted your equipment, your like armor and weapons and other runes and gems and stuff like that was the chef's kiss. Okay, it was chef's kiss. On my way travels, oh whatever, I'm just gonna leave it in. Continuing back home, I ended up figuring out a plan that I wanted to do next, which was pretty much I needed to get stronger. Doing a lot of these things, yeah, so far I wasn't really feeling that strong. So there's actually a portal that you can create called a mirror world portal, which basically mirrors the overworld, but the levels of the mobs are way higher because the overworld is actually capped, I believe, at level 15 or 20, but these guys are between level 25 and 50. So it's a great world to go in and then train in and then come back to the overworld when I either need to cheese stuff or whatever. Plus, I would also like to organize my stuff when I get back because I still have way too much stuff. I mean, creating the backpacks and stuff like that was great. It was awesome. But regardless, I still needed to just kind of organize everything. So yeah, I mean, that's really it. That was my tidbit for day 33. The next day, day 34, the most craziest thing actually happened today. All right. So last night when I slept, I got the quick like little interaction on the text that said the blood moon, but I ended up sleeping and I guess it skipped it. Well, day 34, I accidentally triggered a raid on this poor village, okay? But the raid continued into the night of the blood moon that was supposed to happen the day before. So it was the most insane thing that I've ever encountered, but I ended up dying. and spawning back at the abandoned village from last night, but I have to go back and finish what I started, okay? Because that's just not cool of me just to leave it. I could have just left it as is morally. I couldn't have actually done that. So yeah, so the next day I ended up making it back to the village to finish off the raid. And then the next thing to do is just clean up all of my mess around there, get all the loot, organize some stuff, and then just continue on to the main storyline. I really had to clean up my mess around the village first, just because it was a pretty bad mess. A lot of villagers lost their lives. There was a lot of mobs all over the place. It was bad. It was really bad. The next day on day 36, I finally made it home. Yes, this trip was like a 5-day, a 6-day trip, something like that. Yeah, it was like 6 days, like day 30 through 36. It's insane. But I finally made it home on day 36, and I also made the first structure for the mirror world. But now to activate the mirror world, you have to have poppies, and I don't have poppies of all the things. So now I'm searching for poppies, and I can't seem to find any poppies. Basically, all these, the terrain generation is great, but poppies generate in a few places. And supposedly all the surrounding areas that my house or my home is at, there was no poppies that generated locally. So I now had to head to the village to find poppies if I could. After searching, I'm leaving that in, whatever. I merely found poppies. After searching most of the night last night, or most of the day yesterday, I found poppies finally. And then I went back to my house, and then I created the mirror world thing. You had to do like stone bricks, and then you had to throw these little poppies in, and then this gold thing appeared. I ended up going through, checking it all out, which was actually pretty sick, because it was literally a mirror. Like, it was nighttime as soon as I went over there, and I actually fought a couple of things that were such a higher level, which was very relieving. Got me some good experience out of that. And then I went back and made my Nether portal to start the next chapter of the main quest line when I get to it. So I am ready for the Nether, but there's a couple of little side quests in the main book that you had to finish.
And that's exactly what day 38 is all about. So I had to make some like bamboo spikes, and I also made like this sick flute. And check out this sick beat that I made.
And trying to find some glow skeletons. You remember those guys from like day 6? I actually had to fight some. I didn't even know that. Also, there's this big boss that I was supposed to go fight too, but I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Supposedly that boss is like super rare, like very rare. And unless I had like a spawn egg, which I'm not going to do, that I won't get the achievement for that. So there are a couple of quests through this 100 days that I don't really complete, just because the rarity of the actual mob / structure just aren't there. So just please heed that warning as you watch through. Now we're on to day 39, and I actually head down to the Lush Cavern that I was originally at, where I first saw the glow skeletons. And of course, ADHD kicks in. I'm searching this cat, not even ADHD, I guess you could call it that, but I ended up finding a catacombs because I saw the little markers on the journey map and was trying to get to it, and I found a catacombs with a bunch of zombies in it, and I explored that. So yes, I guess you can call it ADHD kicked in, because this is why I need the quest book to really point me in the right direction, because when you have a stacked up mod pack this big, it that gets really active, and I do everything except do what I need to do, kind of like me going off a script and explaining the okay. I'm still trying to find some glow skellies to kill. I found a few, but not a lot, okay? All right, there we go, day 39. The big 4-0. I'm still exploring the Lush Cavern cave to find glow skeletons, and just going a little bit deeper. Remember where that house was? Well, there had a little path through that, which was like a little tunnel, which actually opened up down. You go down a little bit, and then it opened up. I found a bunch of their markers on the map again, and it actually opened up to a humongous cave. And there was a ton of them in there where I almost died, plus a couple of other like dangerous mobs that were in there too. Also, I found these little guys called like flutters. Not gonna lie, I cannot let the homies know that I mess with them because they are cute, dog. Like flutters, look at those guys. Look at them. Look at those. Yeah, anyways, I finally completed the quest for the glow skeletons, which was awesome. And then, like I mentioned before, the big boss, but I'm not going to stress about that just because after some research, that dude's rare. So it's back home to prep for the Nether. Day 41. Today is the day I finally went to the Nether. Now, I play a lot of these mod packs, and I always forget with these Nether add-ons that becomes so beautiful. Like it really does breathe life into the Nether. But regardless, I had to unalive a bunch of things in the Nether to progress in the quest book. So like some nasty blood mosquitoes, some of these like floaty red dragon jonks, these like lizard dudes. Like yeah, it's some wild looking mobs up in here. So day 41 was really just getting the feel for the Nether, kind of getting used to what's in here a little bit. I mean, my portal literally spawned me in the middle of a wither skeleton biome in the Nether. I mean, like, what is that? Traveling through the Nether, I was fighting all sorts of things. Again, I didn't really want to fight a lot of things, but unfortunately, to complete a quest in the quest book, it needed to be done. After I finally finished fighting off the last like crimson mosquito or red worm dragon thing, I then needed to find a fortress. Now the fortress, it was in a kind of a weird spot. I had to cross a crimson forest, which led into this radioactive wasteland, and then it was over this big hill. Like radioactive wasteland, go over it, hill, boom, fortress. Landing on the top portion of the fortress, I started looting it, but it also meant that I then had to fight like a bunch of wither skeletons and blazes, and it was all insane. So much stuff was just going on, especially whenever you fight blazes. You never can really predict where they shoot their stuff. So annoying to fight. Blazes will always top tier be annoying to fight. But yeah, another thing about the Nether is that I can't really sleep, so it's very hard to track the days in here. So a lot of the days and portions of these days are coming from like filling out the entire day from morning to all the way through night. All day the next day it was just about fighting stuff in that Nether fortress. Dude, when I'm telling you that it was just a ton of mobs left and right, front to back, top to bottom of fighting, it was that. From wither skeletons to slimes to blazes, even lizard juice. Okay, so the slimes. The slimes are very difficult in the Nether. Believe it or not, there are slimes in the Nether. Ask your friends. Yeah. If they touch you, you get poisoned, and it hurts. I mean, I think it's like poison 2, poison 3, and it knocks you down. So slimes are a little bit tricky to deal with. This blazes, shooting fireballs everywhere, pretty annoying. And then the lizard dudes are just the lizard dudes. I mean, they're just there. They're just chilling. But it's crazy time. I also had to get wither skeleton skulls to eventually fight a wither, which was part of the mod pack. That's the least of my worries, because the slimes, it's just the slimes are so annoying. Same with the blazes. Everything, the Nether's beautiful. It's just very annoying. Okay? It's very annoying. Also, this guy kept following me. This golem guy with a big eye. I don't know why, but he was from the other day in the Nether, and he managed to track me down. I don't know what that was about, but yeah, he's here and weird. Just kind of like a creepy guy watching you. You know what I mean? Just stalking you. Gross. Gross golem guy. Day 44. Today was just traveling the Nether. That's all it is. I was just traveling all around the Nether. I eventually got my Wither Skeleton Skulls to summon my first Wither. And I eventually got my Blaze Rods for the Ender Pearls for when we go to visit the end. And now I need to... What is it? I need to kill some worms, I guess? I don't... Editing me, can you, like, elaborate? Throw in a clip or something that shows that I need to kill worms or something for something? I don't know. I'm reading. I'm the paper reader. I'm the script day by day reader, man. I don't know what's going on over on the editing side. It's like not like I'm the same person. Day 45. We are almost about ready to hit the halfway mark. We're so close. I finally get out of the Nether. Supposedly these worms are blood worms. I'm glad I wrote it into the next day because the previous day, dude, this whole thing is just a train wreck. The blood worms, I couldn't find any, but I did defeat a bunch of Lamarians, Mandalorians. I guess that's what the lizard dudes are called, the Lamarians. I figured out next up, I need to actually craft a terminal. The blood worms were for this warped fungus mix, this warped mosque or whatever, and I couldn't really find any of these blood worms, so I needed to craft a terminal to actually get some of this warped fungus mosque stuff to give to a mosquito, and I just wanted to see what it does to it. It was the next quest, and it was a quest in the book. I wanted to see what it does. Also, next up is to fight the Wither. I would like to go down to deep slate level and craft a Wither, summon a Wither and defeat that for my other quest too. So I think that day 46 is going to be that, which was getting all the side quests done, like the bounty board. I had to craft a bounty board. After fighting these red worm dragons, mosquitoes, blood worms, wither skeletons and stuff like that, and even a wither, one of the side quests was getting a bounty board done. I also today crafted a crafting terminal to get the warp mixture stuff, which I think was a freaking it was a rip-off. It was a complete rip-off because it cost you like 2 emeralds or like 5, it was 5 gold pieces is what it was. It's so much money for this fungus stuff. But you know, it is what economics in Minecraft. Yeah, I'm getting upset about it. Trying to craft the bounty board was also annoying because it specifically needed to be oak logs, and of course I live in a biome where there are no oak logs, and the biomes that surround my area is oak logless. So of course, just like everything in this mod pack, it was a journey due to lack of things nearby. But I finally got that made and then tried to do a bounty, which was dealing with common stone. I go get stone. Turns out common stone isn't regular stone. It's a different type of stone that is common. I don't know. Bounty board, you suck on 2 levels. That's really it. Now, today I finally finished the quest of doing a decree to a bounty board, but I had to go make some purple dye, which took up the morning for me. Yeah, I'm in an area where I guess allium or whatever the flower is for purple dye is non-existent. Same thing with the poppies earlier. So day 47, morning time was finding purple dye, and then in the afternoon I just ended up starting my way digging down to bedrock level for the wither fight. That's literally it. 2 things: finding a flower and then digging down to go fight a wither. Yeah, the wither. I'm fighting a freaking thunderstorm. What are you saying, dude? Like, didn't I also say that I wanted to fight this wither like 2 days ago? Whatever. On to next day, which was day 48, and to start the day off, we started off with an action pack. Not really, no. I fought the wither. Also, another side rant, my zombies, the summon zombies, are super annoying. They kept getting in the way. This is literally what it says, what I wrote down. But my annoying zombies kept getting in the way. God, these things are annoying. These things suck so much that I wish I had never chosen this class. Yes, the zombies, they are annoying, okay? They are very annoying. But the wither fight went good, so it just took forever to do because the zombies kept on getting in my way. Then I ended up going back to my chest and figuring out what to do next, which is back in the Nether to fight 2 more bosses. You had a big bad gas, and then you have this other secondary boss that are in 2 very, very rare structures. So I figured, like, hey, maybe for the next couple of days, all I can do is just go around, travel the Nether, and try to fight these things. First is to find a citadel to fight the 2 bosses. After that, I need more wither skeleton skulls to fight 2 more withers because the other 2 bosses require nether stars to summon them. Yeah, bosses. Woo, that's awesome. Day 49, today I went back to the Nether and I found a pipeline in this radioactive area. Now, fighting my way through this thing, I end up getting caught on a cliff type deal. You know what? Just editing me, roll the clip. Just roll the clip, dude.
What? These things have totems? God.
Yeah, there you go. When I woke up, I was at a spawn I had set from like 10, 15 days ago, the abandoned village, on my way home from the Woodland Mansion. So now I gotta find my way back home so that way I can get back to the Nether, which sucked, honestly. So day 49 was definitely not a day for me. Finally at the midway point of this entire video. Well, not really. I meant the 100 days, not really. I don't really know what the time frame is on this video. Honestly, I have no idea when the start, middle, or end. What? Anyways, day 50, all I did was make my way back home, which really wasn't too far. And then I just tried to upgrade my gear, or at least I went through my gear I had gotten so far and just looked at stats. If I'm going to fight these higher level areas, I needed to be geared up for it. The Blaze Sentry knocking me out and killing me actually kind of woke something up in my head, like, hey dude, you're very underpowered for this place. You're not in a good spot. So yeah, I had to reevaluate my life's decisions basically and gear up properly for the battles ahead. So day 51, the day after upgrading my gear, I began my training arc. Off to the mirror world I went, and then I went to fight a whole bunch of stuff, from mobs of zombies, big mutant zombies. I mean, a mutant creeper even came across my plate. And then I came to the realization of what this place actually might be, because it was actually really cool. When it's day in the overworld, it's night over here, and when it's day over here, it's night over there, I think. I don't know, but regardless, it was time to train, and I was ready to mow down some mobs. That was until day 52. I lied. I went into the Nether. And traveling into the Nether on my way to the Citadel thing, my idiot zombie minions like to look at things. Then it ticks those things off, and then those things see me like, these your guys? You're dead. So now the situation I'm in right now is I've got lava squids ticked off at me, and I ended up getting shot out of the sky by a lava squid because of my zombie minions who were supposed to be helping me. These guys are idiots. They're complete idiots. I don't think I've said that enough this entire video. These zombie minions are idiots. But back in the Nether on the next day, I made a good ways across the Nether over to the Citadel. Through the fortress, across like a radiated wasteland thing, bridging across lava, before again, zombies being who they are, tick off a red worm or small dragon type thing, and this boy, he's a chonky boy. I get roasted by the chonky boy because of my zombie minions again, who are idiots. Now day 54. Now the past 2 days, those were just like feet in the water, you testing out the water, whatever. Day 54, this day was chock full of stuff. First off, let me say, and I will say it, I'm completely garbage at this game. If you haven't noticed already, I'm garbage at Minecraft. It took me 54 days to realize that, hey, instead of bridging across the Nether, you have a glider. So guess what? I'm also an idiot too. It's not just the zombie minions. I have a glider. I can glide across the Nether. So what I can do now is I can pillar up or get up on top of a decent sized mountain and then glide across, you know, the big lava lakes to a safer place. So I really could have saved 10 days or so, like just doing this. Gliding also really gave me like a nice view of the Nether too. Plus, going over the radiated wastelands, I found this like huge nuclear reactor looking thing. It's probably meant for something else. I wasn't gonna really investigate it too hard, but I glided right on over to it, took a little peek inside, and then whatever I thought was the Citadel, it turns out I was right after the nuclear reactor, because yeah, it was the Citadel. I glided over there, and this place had a pretty tough dude called a Blaze Guardian or something, or I can't remember his affiliate. I don't even have it written down. It was a Blaze on steroids, pretty much. I got through that fight by basically hiding around a corner, and and actually my zombies doing some work. But I got through that fight. I was able to progress further in the book, and then traveling back from the Citadel, I took it to the lands, but I had like this weird golem spawn on me. The dude that was following me, he had some type of a laser, and along the way I was also killing more lava squids, which was a little bit tricky since they like to float in the air, but it was part of a quest for the quest book. So next up, more lava squids, and then I had to find a mother lava squid, which was actually pretty easy to do, considering on day 55 I traveled back, just traveling back to my home portal, which basically took me all day since it was tricky to traverse the land in the Nether. I was trying to get to high ground and glide down, but literally right next to my portal was a mother lava squid, so I had to take the mother lava squid down, got the achievement, and then we continue on. Day 56 rolls around, and while I was down here, I totally forgot that I needed to do the mosquito thing with the warped mixture fungus stuff. So I had some in my inventory, and I ended up giving it to one, but for some reason it did not work, and I didn't really understand why. Was it because of positioning? I have no clue. But of course, I get distracted by yet another mother squid, which I thought was supposed to be rare, but this was the second one, and I think I encountered a third or fourth one later on in this 100 days. But I spent most of the day just trying to fight that, and then I went back to the overworld to get some of the things that I should give the mosquito, which the next time that I attempt it, I really hope that it works, because I'm ready to progress. It's day 56, and we're just now getting through Act 2. Days 57 through 59, and there's a reason why I grouped these days together. I will touch on that in like a little bit, but today started with a mosquito. Let me explain. I went back to the Nether and I got a mosquito on me. I gave it the warped like fungus stuff, and it turned into Mosquito Man. I have no idea bro was like buff Giga Chad mosquito, but then I had to kill it. And I thought it was going to be super hard, but not really. It was fairly easy to take down. But now that that is done, I head off to our next dimension, the Undergarden. Now, the Undergarden, again, was just like the Nether, and it's very hard to track the days in there. So I got kind of caught up in everything, and, well, yeah, 58 and 59 kind of rolled into each other. Regardless, rolling into the Undergarden, I'm not gonna lie, it was a super dope biome. Super green though. I mean, it really was. It's not like the Nether where, you know, it flashes between the red and the blue and the stuff like that. It was just green. It was green straight across. But my first mission was to first kill 8 rotlings. But entering the portal, I see these like little yellow things called gronglings, and then a rotling actually came up on me. Killing it, dude. I was not expecting that achievement to roll across. It's like the birth control achievement, which was hilarious. But continuing on, I just kept exploring the area to get kind of a grasp on where I was at. I finally rolled through killing all the rotlings, so mark that quest off, and then I moved into the next thing, which was to kill rotwalkers and rot beasts. I had to kill these little rot walker looking dudes that look like little decrepit zombie looking things, and rot beasts, which were like their older brother. I had already done the rot walkers, or at least my zombies were just going around and smacking them sideways, but the rot beasts were absolute tanks. I also along the way I got another achievement it was called a terrible person, talking about a skintling. I didn't really know what a skintling was, but when I found one, I felt so sad.
Oh, that's a skintling. Oh, so cute.
Finally, killing off the last rot beast, my next quest was to eventually find these catacombs under the Undergarden. With the help of the nature compass or explorer compass or whatever it is, I found one actually pretty quickly, and it took a little bit to get to it, but regardless, it was fairly quick to find. The next task was to kill a forgotten guardian, which was this humongous mech-looking thing that I zoomed right past inside of these catacombs that my zombies just made quick work of. So once that was done, that was great. The real jewel of the catacombs was these little open chambers that actually had a ton of chests in them, and with those ton of chests was a ton of loot, which I made sure to get a lot of. But eventually I left out of the labyrinth catacombs thing and found a stoneborn, which was almost like the Undergarden's villager to do trades with. I didn't know that you could actually do that. After I did some trading with the Stoneborn, I headed out of the Undergarden back to the overworld, and then I did some quick decoration around the portal to make it kind of look pretty. The next task is an ice maze, which is amazing. You see what? Okay, whatever. Day 60. Today, I started the day crafting the diving equipment that I needed for the next main quest, but I needed andesite. So using my nature compass, I found an andesite mountains and mined up some of that stuff. Went back and crafted all the diving equipment, and then I tested it out. 10 out of 10, do not recommend at all. Like that is horrible. I'm good. I'm probably never gonna use this again. The next day, 61. Today I traveled out to what I think was an ice maze. I wasn't really expecting this. When I heard the word ice maze, I really thought it was going to be a little bit more extravagant, not just little pieces of ice jutting out of the, I thought it was going to be like a dungeon, you know what I mean? Like an actual dungeon ice maze, an ice maze, you know, just not just ice. And then, hey, whoosh, here's an ice maze, you know what I mean? But I thought I had eventually got there, and the next thing was to find out about some tortured souls on the ice maze. So I was highly confused as to where I was or if I was even in the right place. But eventually I found an orca, which was pretty sick. And I thought that these guys were gonna be super mad and angry at me. Not really. The orca guy was pretty chill until this happened.
Hey, I don't know if orcas are nice or not. What? Oh my god. What? Oh my gosh, dude. What the heck?
Yeah, an anglerfish. Dude, that thing scared the living crap out of me. I was not expecting that, but after regaining some of my manlyhood back, I spent the rest of the day fighting anglerfish and moths. Fighting some moths. I guess they're the big green fish that have the glowy eyes. I also killed a golden moth. Not too sure if I was supposed to fight it or not, but here we are. It's time to roll on to the next day, I think. And the next day was a day for sure. I killed the rest of the anglerfish that the quest requested. And then I also saw this epic fight happen.
Oh, it's attacking the thing. Go away. I'm gonna watch. Yo, what? No way. Did it kill it? Oh, dude, it killed it.
Yeah, a freaking whale and a giant squid fighting, bro? Heck yeah. I was geeked when I saw this. I hadn't seen either one before. Like I hadn't seen any of the, I think it's called a catch-a-lot whale or something like that. And then the giant squid, I hadn't seen either one through this entire mod pack. When I first saw them, I was like, oh my God, that is so cool. But both fighting too, it was lit. I'm not gonna lie. I also found out from an earlier like quest though, I got one of those gateways. Well, it was a gateway for the tortured souls. So now I can finally continue doing my quest by unaliving some tortured souls, which is great. That's what I wanted. So onwards and upwards that we go. The next day, I defeated all the tortured souls through that through the gateway. And not gonna lie, it was kind of a tough battle because there were so many of them. They were pretty tough. Then you had anglerfish trying to snap up at me. It was, and it's on ice of all things too. So after the end of the battle, I eventually got this horn that pretty much did nothing on the ice maze. But it turns out I had to go find a ship and go and activate this horn. So after that, well, your boy did it again. He kind of forgot to record activating it the first time, but activating the horn, the boss bard came on, some dope music happened, but I honestly couldn't find who Cornelia, I couldn't find her. But turns out she was off the ship to the side. She didn't even spawn on the ship. She didn't care about the ship. She just needed room. So yeah, she was off the ship to the side, and then it was time to fight my next boss, Cornelius. I don't know if that's her name.
Get him, get him, get him. Get her. Oh, dude. Why can't I use anything?
So I died. And day 64 is about my travel back to the ship in the Icelands. Yay! But once I actually got there, the fight still wasn't done. So I eventually had to take care of business. And then finally, your boy did it. Your boy defeated Lord Cornelius of the ghost ship. But then when she died, I actually got an ice map and a key to unlock something, and I'm hoping that they correlate with each other, because if not, I'm gonna be a tad upsetty spaghetti, because this ice map was like leading to a place that was thousands of blocks away. So, yeah. Guess where we're going next? Day 65, I am going to the shelter. It's really an ice shelter, I think. It's a ways away. I don't really know how far, but it's def a trip. So here's a clip of me traveling some lands. I don't really know what else to say here about day 65, because it was should I like beatbox or something? Boom. Boom. Okay, we're just gonna skip ahead to day 66. Day 67 on the schedule for wait, is it day 66? Day 67? 66, sorry, 66. I finally found the place after a long travel, which was like a hole in the ground. The place was the hole in the ground, not the long travel and me traveling through a hole in the ground. Regardless, I attempted to go in there, but then this happened. What a joke and a complete waste of time. All of that traveling just to get bodied by an anglerfish. I hate these things so much. Also, this is kind of time for me to like actually say, you know, hey, look, your boy is actually working on another 100 days that actually has these anglerfish in it. So guys, stay tuned. Anyways, yeah, I hate anglerfish. They're annoying. They poison you. They bite at you. They make very loud noises and scare the crap out of you while you're trying to befriend an orca whale. Very cool looking, very annoying. Thank you, Aquamarie. But being back home, I just ended up just doing some inventory management and I called it a day. So that way I can just move forward with this quest book. Now we're on day 67. On the schedule for the next act was to actually go to Everbright and Everdawn. But to do so, I needed portal blocks. And one of the ways to get these portal blocks was finding these little dudes called gatekeepers. Now, or in the terminal, but in the terminal they were mad expensive. So gatekeepers it is. Explorer's compass, we're going to go find ourselves a gatekeeper. They're around the world, and sometimes you'll find them in mod packs where there's a village and then there's just this house that's built and it's big and it's just off to the side looking ominous. That's a gatekeeper. They also have the portal blocks in their houses, like right up at the top of their attic area. So I took a trip to go and visit one, got some blocks from that boy, and then it being night, I needed to sleep, but then I needed to go see another one because the other one could have the other blocks. You see where I'm getting at with this one? So now on to day 68. And here we are, off to go see the second gatekeeper's house, and he ended up having the same blocks that I had already gotten, so it was kind of a bust. But I guess it's time to regroup at the house and see what to do next. On the way home, I stopped at a village really quick, but ended up turning nighttime. Regardless, I traveled through the lands, and I mean, I already showed like 15 days of me traveling lands, so we're just these traveling days. There's still more, but it's going to. I'm just not going to focus on the traveling as I show you a clip of me traveling while I'm trying to explain. It's just whatever. Day 60, nice. I got back to the crib. I built one of the portals, which was actually really pretty to build. I believe that this one was Everbright. Attempting to build the second one, I was just one block off. So then I used a slime gateway because it turns out slime are a great source of money. After completing the gateway, I ended up getting the money to buy the last block from the trader terminal and then built the second portal, which was again another dope looking portal, which was Everdawn. All right, so now we got both portals. Now it's time to go through one of them. The lucky pick of the draw was going to Everbright on day 70. Continuing the main quest line, I get in there and just the biome is so beautiful. Like whoever created this mod, it's just chef's kiss beautiful. First things first, creating this dope looking spear. I had to do it for both Everdawn and Everbright, creating a dope looking spear. And then after messing around with the I look like a Power Ranger with this thing. I was off to go back and smack around some mobs. All right, we gotta go around, go smack some mobs, and some of these mobs are like armored frost spirits, some deified prowlers, Crinoceros. That's it. That's the one, and a few other things. Continuing to hunt for all these mobs into the next day, I'm working on them left and right as I was making my way into the world, and I actually ended up stumbling upon this humongous like emerald green looking building. Dude, the thing was absolutely massive and just beautiful, and I really wasn't expecting to see something like that in this world. But little did I know, I would be returning here in the near future, and this building was about to be my biggest headache of the entire 100 days that I spent in this mod pack. But regardless, day 71 was just knocking down these mobs left and right. I eventually made my way after finishing the quests for Everdawn, or Everbright, sorry. I made my way over to Everdawn. I finished up Everbright. To start working on these quests for Everbright or Everdawn, whatever it is. I went to the dark side from the bright side, and again, another cool looking biome. This place was absolutely magnificent, but I found some actually really cool stuff. Of course, it was the first things first was the mob killing quest I needed to complete, but one of the probably the cutest things in both of these mods was these little cosmic foxes that I came across. Look at these little guys. Look at them. I started to work on some of the bugs I needed to kill. But while doing that, I ended up stumbling across a little in-city looking thing, which I guess, yeah, I don't know. I didn't even investigate it at all, but it looked like an in-city tower. But I'm working on the bugs, and I'm starting to figure out where these things were and how to kill them. So these like little yellow-eyed looking things, they're like above ground. But then you have some more bugs inside of the caves, like they look like these big scorpion looking things. And the yellow eye bugs, they light you on fire. But regardless, I'm just working my way to do these bugs for Everdawn. So that way I can continue in the quest book. In the Everdawn area, I ended up going back and starting killing more of the bugs, but it turns out that in-city looking junk was an actual dungeon that I needed to complete. So, of course, me wanting to know more about the mod pack, I researched it a little bit, and then I figured things out, and ADHD takes control of me. Instead of focusing on one thing, now inside this dungeon, I'm figuring out that there's a dude named the Alchemist, but to get to him, I need 3 keys, and unfortunately, I only found 2 in this dungeon. So I ended up having to go to another one. You see where this like spiral of ping pong inside of my head is going? I ended up having to go to another like dungeon place to get the 3rd one, which was okay. It was cool. I mean, I don't mind the traveling and all that, but I finally get in there, and this dude is tough. This dude is tough. I mean, look at that. This guy is just throwing things at me. There's poison corners, and your boy eventually ended up dying since I pretty much just jumped in without knowing what to expect at all. That's the conclusion. I ended up just dying. The next day, I regrouped, and realizing what I did wrong, I kept on jumping in the poison pools when I wasn't supposed to, but jumping back into Everdawn, I was actually traveling back to where my last death was. I also stopped at a little Everdawn village along the way and found out something pretty fun.
Dude, what? The villagers attack back? Oh, they attack back? Then why do they have a golem?
Yeah, the villagers attack you back here. Yes, it's insane to me. And who knew they did so much damage? But regardless, I was traveling a little ways after the village, and I ended up getting a quest completed achievement. Opened the quest book, and it was marked off as complete. The dungeon boss was dead. Okay. So he beat a dungeon boss, which was dope. I wasn't complaining at all, so I just started heading out to start killing more of the bugs to continue that quest. But along the way, I wanted to, figure out where it is that I needed to go for this main quest, which was to go and find a poisonous maze somewhere. But stumbling across some to all these new biomes and to some of these, I'm just looking at some of these dope looking animals, like this huge frog.
Oh my gosh, dude, you're huge.
And then yeah, I mean, like look at that dude. That dude is a chunky boy. But then I realized, again, why don't I just kill bugs on the way to the main quest dungeon? So that's what I did. It's time to go find a poisonous maze somewhere. The next day, traveling far, I messed around in a village and then somehow ended up at a big tree. I guess this is where the compass had led me. But when I went down it, it said I wasn't ready to progress this far and ended up poisoning me. I didn't really at the time understand why this was happening. But it turns out that Alchemist fight, the dungeon boss, didn't really count, I guess. So I went back out, found another tower. Yes, your boy forgot to record anything about that Alchemist fight. I am sorry. This isn't a proper Shin video, 100 days video without me recording something. I forgot to record the Alchemist fight, but regardless, I went, beat him. I went back out, went back to the tree, and then it finally let me down in the maze. So turns out you do have to fight the Alchemist dude before you go down here. I guess after that, what I needed to do was find some dungeon keys. So the layout of this maze, it's like multiple levels. You go around the first level, you find dungeon keys. Then you can go down to the next level. You find another key. And then when you find the next level's key, then you can go fight the boss. But even more exciting than all of that was all of the loot. Sort of. Until I got distracted, I got caught up in some webs, and then I died to a freaking cave spider, which was awesome. Do I need to get stronger? Grind levels? Is this punishment for not going through my training arc that I said? It's so late, and I haven't even, in the 100 days, and I haven't even fought the dragon yet. All day today, on the next day of day 76, was about inventory management. I hope you all understand the amount of stuff that you constantly get in this mod pack is super overwhelming, and for someone who has played Path of Exile maybe like a handful of times, I'm overwhelmed by it all. Plus, I'm jumping into this pack with these new dimensions that are somewhat brand new to me, okay? I hardly know what it is or what I'm doing, so please bear with me. But regardless, I really needed to get my gear together. I've been collecting all this stuff. I haven't been paying attention to it. I also needed to get my backpack all set up for the new loot and these new biomes and stuff. So I just needed to take care of myself. Health, personal health. As I'm like constantly dying, I'm talking about personal health. Regardless, yeah. Today was just an inventory day. Boo-hoo. Now, the next day, day 77. I'm basically in the mirror world, just training and training. And it turns out for a quest, I need to make an endolocator, but to make one, I need whale teeth as well. I have no idea what that has to do with training or why I even wrote it in here. But turns out, if you didn't know, whale teeth cost a lot of money out of the crafting terminal. So I guess a plus to my training is the fact that I'm making money, and then I need to it says it here, I earn money by teeth. Kind of weird how I need to say that. So yeah, instead of just training and focusing on levels, we're just trying to earn money to buy some whale teeth. Day 2 of my training arc, and it didn't go as planned. That's always great when I have to read something like that. First off, I set off a witch gateway, which went over pretty smoothly. And then I let off an enderman gateway. But for some reason, I get stuck and I died. Or maybe I'm just garbage and not getting stuck. I don't know. You guys choose. You guys comment down below and pick which one I am. You're probably gonna go with this guy's garbage, and I fully respect that. But then I jumped back into the mirror world and I finished that Enderman gateway off. The next one I wanted to do was a blaze gateway, but blaze fly. So let's do that underground. Nope. I guess for some reason, you can't use them underground. Also, have I mentioned how much I hate the summoned zombies, dude?
But move, God. I hate these guys so much. I hate these little zombies so freaking much, man.
But to close out today, I released another gateway, which was a gateway to the labyrinth, and I had to fight a few dudes from the Undergarden area, like the Rotwalkers and the Beasts and stuff like that, which was actually pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie, that was a good one. That was a good Good choice right there. Rolling into day 79, day 3 of my training arc, and I made some zombie gateways, which you can make out of a couple of zombie flesh and a couple other ingredients. I'm not gonna bore you with it. The coolest part about this was the fact that you could release 2 of them at the same time, and it's pretty much double and easy profits. So this all took quite a bit of a time through the night to accomplish, and I finally got the 2 emeralds for my final whale tooth, which the grinding for all that ended up being useless because I crafted the endolocator. I don't even know how to use it. I really don't. So all my expectations for this thing just went out of the window, and I'm good. I could care less about it. It's done. It's a quest complete. We are getting so close to ending this 100 days, and I cannot stress enough. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm having fun with the whole 100 days thing. It's awesome to do this mod pack. It's very fun. But holy cow, there's a lot of stuff in this thing, and I'm ready to move on. And that's what I did. I went back to Everdawn to take down the tree. Well, the spiders in the tree. Because after 3 days of training, I think I'm ready to take it down. So I headed back to the tree to finally overcome the little poison cave spiders. After getting back to the tree, it was time to get to work. So getting through the first level, trying to find the first key was a little bit nerve-wracking because I didn't know what I was doing, but and I also think it was because of the PTSD from dying before, but eventually I did find a dungeon key, and now I know exactly what to look for. Day 82, I made my way over. No, we're already done with that. Nope. Know what to look for. We're on day 81. Sorry, I'm like stuck in it. Dude, just stick to the words on the paper. Basically, from here on out was playing through the entire day to get these things done. I didn't really realize that it was like day 80-ish in game. And then we have so much stuff to do, like a whole nother arc. I think there's another arc after that arc. It's insane. But working my way through the dungeons, I was just killing spiders, breaking spawners, and looting chests. That should be like another live, laugh, love poster that you hang up in your wall. Killing spiders, breaking spawners, looting chests. Moving through level by level was pretty easy since I had the journey map on the side, so I could actually kind of figure out what caves I've been down and what caves I haven't. And just making my way downtown, walking fast, faces fast, and I'm homebound. Until I found all the keys that I needed. Just rinse and repeat of the same exact thing on each level until it was finally time to go and see the boss. I'm gonna pause it right here. For those who have arachnophobia, you can kind of skip over the next maybe minute or so, maybe 2 minutes. But dude, I have some serious arachnophobia and thalassophobia. A fear of spiders and deep bodies of water. This one, aside from the baby spiders that I was fighting, this one spiked the arachno all the way up. I don't know why I thought of anything else, but this dude was huge. He was huge, my guy. But after sending my minions on him a few times, we eventually get to close out the day with a big W, and we beat him finally. The arachnophobia has been conquered today. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, all the guys with the arachnophobia, you guys can come back now. If you just closed your eyes during this, you can come back. Day 82, I made my way over to Everbright. After taking a super long journey on my way out of Everdawn, I ended up in the beautiful blue land and had to find the blinding dungeon for this realm, which is the place that we fought the Alchemist, or I forgot to record fighting the Alchemist. I eventually found the blinding dungeon in this realm, and then I just went through, got the keys. It was basically, again, it was the same old routine. Find dungeon, fight, little bit of mob, get keys, and then next up is to fight this dungeon boss before heading to the big dungeon of this realm. Saying this now, I had no idea that this was going to be the most irritating point of the 100 days. Just wait, okay? Day 83, beginning of the day, starts off with a big W against the dungeon boss.
Where'd he go? Oh, he's almost dead. Let's go!
Now,
let's go!
You remember that huge, the big structure, the emerald green structure that I found earlier, that big pyramid junk, yeah, that thing is what the main boss of this entire biome lives in. Now, arriving there, I didn't know what to expect, but this was like, I guess, an overground maze where the other one was an underground maze. But regardless, going inside it was pretty insane looking, and I had to go through one of the most frustrating mazes in the entire game. In this building, there was these stone golems everywhere that packed a huge punch. I was finding chests with a bunch of loot in it. And then eventually I had to find these sets of stairs to go up to the levels. But, you know, like I said, the loot wasn't that bad. It was just annoying having to backtrack so much through here. Okay, next day. Day 84. Most of all day today was just stone golems and looting and climbing stairs and stone golems looting and climbing stairs. Dude, when I say that this was frustrating, it was it was so frustrating. It wasn't even close to choosing the right words for this, how I felt about this, but it's so massive, and then every turn you think it's right just isn't, and it sucked. It just completely sucked. But eventually we got up top towards the end of the day and got inside the Starlight Crusher's boss room. Now this is where the most frustrating part of the entire 100 days, my entire 100 days video's career. I never want to fight this dude again. Ever. If there's ever a quest mod pack and I notice this dude, nope, throwing it in the garbage. Not ever doing it again. So, the Starlight Crusher, you get in there. I summon some zombies. He gets smacked. A tree wall goes up. And you just watch. Yeah, purple spiky things circle around and smack you, and then better not get caught up in it because it's hard to see them. But if you do see them and you get caught up in it, you die. Okay, that's how my day 84 went. All right, combining both day 85 and 86, it took me a total of 50 minutes to beat this guy, dude. So I thought at first, nah, this can't be that bad. It's just a tree, whatever. Well, after repeatedly dying over and over and over again, I realized, hey, smack him real quick, take an axe, smack the log thing a couple times, get in the water to avoid purple poison things, comet poison orbs to take care of these little owl things. Did I forget to mention that? Did I mention that? There's freaking owls that attack you on top of everything else, aside from the tree and the things and the poison stuff. Yeah. Anyways, after this constant Elden Ring style of fighting and dying and rinse and repeat and dying and rinse and repeat and dying, you can finally get this dude to a second stage. Yay, second stage of an already annoying boss. This is cool. But this turns this guy into a naturistic Beyblade, pretty much, and he starts swinging at you. But eventually, on the end of day 86, I finally beat him.
Let's go. Come on. Oh my gosh, dude. Finally. Holy cow. I mean, he sucked. Like, big time sucked. But that is a very good boss. Like a very good boss.
Yes, your boy has finally beat the Starlight Crusher. You get kind of this little cool trophy, a couple of items or whatever, but now it was just time to head home. So I headed out to the roof.
Wonder if I'll make it. Oh, oh, that was nice.
We are done with the Starlight Crusher. The next step, the end. Finally getting home. My next plan of action is the end. So, I popped an Enderman Gateway to finally get some Ender Pearls for the Eyes of Ender, killed a ton of chickens for some food for the journey, and then got my inventory ready for the long trip. And might I add, coming up is going to be rather irritating as well. And I don't mean to rag on this mod pack, but holy cow, it's either my luck or just the way this thing was built. But dang, it was so irritating to deal with some of the things that you find in the end, as well as the poison cave spiders and the Starlight Crusher and the stone golems and it's fun. I swear, it's fun. All right, so Day 88, here I go. I end up traveling to an ender portal the old-fashioned way, throwing the eye in the sky and hoping No, I did not do that. We got an explorer's compass. It just points us there, bro. But low-key, I kind of wish I had thrown the eye, because when I got to the right area where the explorer's compass was pointing me, the stronghold was in an ice maze. Yay! Under the ice. Yay! And guess what I found when I went down there? A flooded stronghold. Yay! I made my way around the halls that weren't flooded. I also tried to get a good bearing as to where things were, dealt with a bunch of Illagers, Vindicators, and might I add, the way these strongholds were built was truly epic, I'm not gonna lie. Aside from it being flooded, it was a very beautiful stronghold. I really commend whoever designed it. I think this was Young's Better Strongholds. It's beautiful, but regardless, it kind of sucked that it was flooded. I didn't really get to experience anything of it, but I was just trying to make my way around there. And then days 89 and 90, I'm just combining kind of both of those as well, because I'm still trying to find the portal through these days. Days 89 and 90, I was still looking for the portal in the flooded hallways, and Vexes just attacking me and all that. It's just, it wasn't easy to find this place because it was so flooded, and I kept on finding myself in the same hallways as before. It was like generated halfway into the ground as well, and it kind of sucked. But regardless, end of day 90, I was just like, I don't know where this place is, and it was getting kind of discouraging to even continue to look for this thing, and I thought I was gonna have to leave and then actually go somewhere else. But until day 91 rolled around.
So day 91 rolls around, and I was getting ready to call it quits because it was day 91 rolling around, and I'm sure if I tried to find another stronghold I'd end up in the same situation. But I was fighting a witch or an illusioner or something. I got blindness for whatever reason, and I was just getting very frustrated, and just somehow stumbling down some hallways, the blindness cleared, and I walked down another hallway, and I ended up at the portal room. It was flooded. I couldn't find it because it was flooded. So I didn't think anything of it, and I turned around multiple times not going into it. But regardless, I found it. I finally found it, but it also made me realize I didn't have enough Eyes of Ender. I only had 5, so I needed the full frame's worth, which was awesome. But luckily, I had an Ender Gateway, which I let off in the room, then got all the pearls that I needed to make it work. Now it was finally time to awaken the portal and go into the end.
Whoa. Yo, that's what? Oh, that gives me chills so much. Okay.
Next up, in the main quest was to get to the center and get some end crystals. Then I had to summon the Dargan.
Guessing it goes like that. Final showdown? Alright, bet. Where's this guy at? Where's this guy at? Whoa! He has 3 heads?
Look at this guy. This entire end dimension, this island has just awakened with some of the most craziest stuff I had ever seen. Mutant Endermen and floaty boys and little baby ender dragons and ticked off endermen. It was insane. Every single second I was running for my life. Every single second I was dying too.
yeah, it turns out everything was aggroing me. And it was very frustrating because of all the zombies were irritating me, because of all the mobs they were irritating me. I just wasn't ready for this, not by a long shot at all. I'm here. It is what it is, and I had to take care of it. So let's begin the death loop. Rolling into day 92, you can kind of see why I'm complete garbo at this game, guys. Hardcore would have been ended like on day 11, but the first mission in the end was dealing with all the crystals. So I had to get all the crystals. I had to destroy them like normal, and I was still dying while trying to destroy the crystals. So all you, and let me just say this: all you 100-dayers that did this in hardcore, or that do these things in hardcore, you're insane. Mad respect. I bow down to you. This is, yeah, insane. But regardless, crystals are finally done. It was time to smack the dragon down. Now, how did I do this? Well, I pillared. I cheesed it. Okay, I don't have a really special way of. I just cheesed it. Yeah, that's really it. Cheesing him was honestly the best option because with the final push, he went down. I was a little bit disappointed with the rewards that I got. I got a simple insignia for defeating him. And as soon as I was about to get the egg, I also got the big present of a big mutant Enderman that ended up popping out of nowhere, smacking me left and right. And after dying only once to this guy, I just ended up going back in, jumping in the middle to finally, quote unquote, beat the game. Now, we are not done because there is more stuff after the dragon in this main quest line that I still have to do. So, on to the next day, which was day 93. Now that all the chaos has died down a little bit, I thought it was time to coast. Now, today was just to go back home, but first I had to search up what was next, and that is summoning something called a void worm in the end. I was hoping to stay far away from the end as possible, but I guess not. So, I guess that's what's up next. Pretty enjoyable boat ride home though, honestly. I got to see a lot of stuff on the way, like the nice little biomes here and there. I also had a pretty cool whale swim next to me.
Dude, you're so cool, man. Keep swimming with me. What's up, buddy? Come back. Yeah, there you go. Oh, you're so cool, dude.
Look at that little guy. Look at him. He's just chilling, man. And on my way back, once I got to land, I found a wandering trader who had mosquito larvae. So the thing is to summon the void worm, you have to take this mosquito larvae and then chuck it into the end, and then it summons the void worm. Well, it turns out I needed to get some mosquito things from the Nether. It was a whole ordeal. So finding this wandering trader, and he just happens to have the thing that I need, and I just happen to have, dude, it was so lucky that I was so thankful that I started like just laughing maniacally about it.
Easy. Easy. Oh, that's lucky right there. That's so easy. Oh man, that's called luck. That is definitely called luck.
It was so dumb that I've had all this bad luck, but regardless, I went home, I got some gear on me, then just some inventory stuff. I tried to plant some sugarcane for some reason, and I ended up having a dolphin derp on me, and that's literally it.
Dude, this freaking dolphin, man. Problem, my guy. He's gonna laugh. Like, oh, funny.
Today was a stupid day. I'm just gonna come out right and say it. The next day, day 94, was just a stupid day. I wake up feeling like, no. I went about my day just crafting some rockets. I guess that's why I needed the sugarcane, which I needed the paper for. I completely forgot that that's what I needed it for. I then flew over to the stronghold, Then literally as soon as I jump into the portal, I get beamed by this wild looking flying thing. Well, guess what? I forgot to set my spawn next to the portal. So then I spawn back home. After that, I go straight back to the stronghold. And mind you, both of these trips take a while to go. Like literally a good 3 to 4 minutes. But on the second trip, this is what happened.
You know, I deserved that. I really deserved that. Today was just stupid. Today was
so stupid. Am I right? Day 94 was just a dumb day. The next day, finally, I go back to the stronghold. I finally make it into the end, and I don't die immediately. It was a few minutes after I went in there. Oh, other than dying a couple 10 times, I also contracted what's called the Ender Flu, which was lovely. I eventually went to go to an end gateway and transport myself to the Ender Wastes, where I explore a building, I die, then fly back to the old death, and then, after all of this dying, I spawn the Void Worm. And this thing is looking sick. Like, it is so freaking cool. The worm is death worming. It's scary and looks beautiful at the same time. And it def likes to kill me quite a couple times. I actually, I took to the air to eventually fight for it and I die. And then I try to fight it another time and this is what happens.
Why aren't my...
Yeah, my elytra broke, so I'm not gonna bore you guys with another death loop, but let's just say that was the last time I saw the Void Worm. I did not end up beating this. He is still loose inside of this world in the end, terrorizing the Endermen or whatever, whoever it ever is going on in here, all right? So I guess it's just, that's the end of the end for me. Day 96 rolls around and I pretty much just left the end and boated back home, which I'm not gonna play with y'all. It took me all day again to get back home. So I was seriously underpowered and underleveled to be in the end with this big old worm in the first place, which is all good. I think after 96 days and only dying close to 80 times is pretty good, right? Right? Don't you guys agree? If you've actually made it this far, I don't know if actually anyone watches this far in the 100 days videos, to be honest with you. This is a long video. I'm just kind of rambling as I'm boating along. How's the weather? It's hot. It's hot out here. It really is hot. So yeah, I guess we'll just wrap this thing up on to the next couple of days. Day 97. Today I figured I'd take a peaceful approach and actually start learning the MineColonies stuff so that way I could have a decent home to live in. Finally, at the end of this video, you know, end the video with a nice little build. About halfway through though, my ADHD kicks in hard and says, yo, remember you have to fight 2 Nether bosses and then go fight wither skeletons to go get those skulls to fight withers. Remember that's what you're supposed to do? So I dropped the MineColonies for the 4th time, and that's exactly what I did. The end is no more. I'm too weak to be in there, but let's go kill some wither skeletons and kill a couple of withers so we can fight some nether bosses, which I feel like I'm well equipped for. Day 98, after getting enough skulls, I went back to the overworld and spawned another wither, which to be honest aren't that hard to beat anyways when you're this powerful. And this one was cake, but now it's back to the nether and I'm exploring in there to find at least one of the bosses. So where are they at? No, it's supposed to be the Ghast. I think it's the big bad Ghast. And then there was another one. I can't really remember what the name of it was, but yeah, there's another one. Also, another idea popped in my head was the nuclear looking junk that I found in the nether as well.
So I gotta go and look at that because I wanted to see what was in that thing. So yeah, I mean, it was just kill a wither, explore the nether, live, laugh, love. That's the end of it. Day 98. And rolling, I keep on saying rolling into the day. We're not rolling into. I'm doing a whip transition. Like, it just, and that's it. It's so dumb to say rolling into the day. And look what I wrote. And merging into day 99, I found that nuclear looking junk and ended up finding a trapped ghast at the bottom of it. Considering that the floor literally is lava, I'm good on that, Chief. It's just not a good look, and I'm good. But exploring a little bit more of the Nether, I actually came across this beautiful structure, this huge castle that I knew I had to explore. Supposedly, it's a piglin castle that has a bunch of piglins in it, brutes and stuff like that, like super, super, super dangerous. But this thing was so cool to not explore and to look around in there. If it was a waste of time, which it was, this place was epic. Also, I gave up on the 2 boss structures, obviously. Piglin Castle, day 99, it only made sense. After some research, they're super, super rare to go and find. I don't have the time to do that right now, so I'm good on that. I just want to get through this 100 days. I went back home after, looking through the Piglin Castle because there was just one more place that I wanted to go to after checking out day 99. Day 100, we finally made it. If you have made it this far, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. You're the best. Don't let anyone tell you different. You are the best for watching from day 1 to day 100 without pausing or skipping a video or just watching it straight through, right? Right. Regardless, let's close this thing out. Remember back a bunch of days ago when I tried to go to the ice maze shelter, right? And I died to the anglerfish. Well, we headed back there, and I am so glad I did, because I got to the ice shelter thing and I went down to it. I took a smart approach. I dug into the ice and I actually got down there, because when I got down there, there was this awesome looking boss. I guess it was an eel or something like that, which was great to close out this 100 days to fight one last boss. While it's not as epic as, the little cave dweller thing or the nether bosses or the void worm, this was still pretty cool. It was my first time ever fighting it. I'm not gonna lie, it was very easy to fight, but yeah, I got down there, fought this boss. It was also a hidden house down here, and on top of trying to fight the eel, I had to fight illagers and pillagers and villagers and whatever and skeletons, and it was crazy. But finally defeating the eel, I felt like my duty was done. And now, after looting the place, of course, I had to loot the place, I can call it an end to this 100 days. Again, if you have made it this far, I truly appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please leave a comment down below, click the like button, hit that subscribe button, and, well, just as I made a mention earlier, I have another 100 days video coming out. And, well, that should be out soon. I hope you guys stay safe, have a great day, and goodbye.